Guys, welcome back. It is Racer X, and today I'm actually in the Hellcat. I'm on my way up to Plano, Texas, which is about an hour from my house in Fort Worth, and I'm going to do a review with a dealership you guys actually have not seen on the channel yet. It is Huffines Dodge in Plano, Texas, and they seem very excited to work with me on a car that you guys have not seen on the channel yet. I've had a lot of people asking about doing a review on this, so today we're gonna do it, so stay tuned to see what we're reviewing today. Also, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you slap the subscribe button right down here in the corner, and here we go. We got the 1,000 horsepower helmet. God. One of the things about driving a sedan that makes north of 1,000 horsepower is it is really hard to sneak up on people. It's also hard to go by people without them staring at you, which not necessarily a bad thing. Okay guys, check it out. I have actually arrived at Huffines Dodge in Plano, Texas, and I'm just gonna go ahead and step into the showroom. It looks like we got a little bit of rain cover here coming in, but they've got the car that I want to review just inside. So we're gonna go ahead and head on in, talk to those guys in there, and let me show you what I wanna review today. All right, check it out here, guys. We are in Huffines Dodge. They've got a couple of really pretty cars in here, actually. Check out this this really sharp-looking Scat Pack Charger that they have here in a wide body. Big fan of that color. I believe that is the Frostbite color. And they've actually got the other one of the other new colors here, Hell Raisin. This is a 2020 Challenger here. This is got the Hemi in it. And I got to tell you, this is one of those colors that when you see it in person, it looks really, really nice. It's a very kind of a deep color, but I got to just mention that I am a fan. I actually really like this Ram here too, guys. This is actually one of the few 2019 vehicles that they have in stock right now. That thing's actually pretty sharp, and being a 2019, I'm imagining you could probably get a pretty sick deal on this thing. But anyway, I'm a big fan of the Ram trucks, so I just thought I would show this one to you just because I'm a fan of the color, and I'd be willing to bet these guys would give you a good deal on this one if you wanted it. But anyway, really sharp, big horn, and I believe this is a Texas edition truck as well. So I figured I would just show you guys that. They also have a Charger here that I like. You can see this is also a 2019. I'll mention this, but this one's pretty decked out. This is an SXT, so it's got the Pentastar V6 in it. But you can see here, this one's got that decked out leather. I did review a vehicle that was actually really, really close to this not too long ago. But being it's a 2019, if you're in the market for a really decked out SXT, this one is a pretty good example of that. It's actually got the nicer wheels on it as well. Well, guys, there is the car that I wanted to review for you today. Yes, it is a Chrysler 300. This is actually the Hemi. It's one of the few dealerships that actually has the Hemi version of the Chrysler 300. This is a car that people have been asking me to do a review on for quite some time. So I figured, you know what? Well, let's go visit the guys over at Huffines, show them this beautiful car. So I want to get into some of the details of this thing. It is pretty nice. So this is actually probably my favorite version of the 300. This is actually the 300S with a 5.7 liter naturally aspirated V8 in it. As you can see, this is the granite colored car. It's beautiful. I actually really, really like these wheels. Let me give you a close look at that. It's got 245s on all four corners. And as you can see, it actually shares the same chassis as the Charger, but you can see just how different it looks. It has more of a luxurious kind of look to the front of it than the Charger does. And I'll actually show you the front of the Charger just for comparison, but it almost kind of has that same sort of curved wide body like you'd find on the Scat wide body we just showed you, but it does look quite a bit different appearance-wise. And once again, for comparison, you do kind of see how the Charger looks with the wide body on it. As you know, the wheels are wider here, but man, it looks quite a bit different from the front, even though they do share that same chassis. So, and once again, from the back of the car, you can see, man, it does look quite a bit different in terms of stature from the Charger, but it does look striking. It is a nice looking vehicle. And really the one thing about the 300 is just the luxurious feel that you get. So let me show you what the inside of this car looks like. As you can see, it's got these beautiful leather seating surfaces here with the S. And then, of course, it has a very similar feel to a Charger. You can see it doesn't have the traditional, it's got more of the knob style, the gear selector here versus the traditional one that you just kind of pull back on like in the Charger. This section of the center console looks very similar like what you'd find in the Charger. Of course, it's got that big, beautiful 8.1 inch screen here, just like you would find on a lot of the Charger models. It's got the clock built in right up here. Dash wise, it is slightly different in terms of the gauges. I'll show you that here momentarily, but very, very similar to the Charger, but it does feel ever so slightly different. I do want to show you the back seats, because boy, these things are really nice and big and plush. I really do like the fit and finish of this 300. It's really, really sharp. The grille on the 300 is pretty striking and unique. So as you can see, really sharp looking grille on this, and obviously just behind the grille you've got that naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi. It's actually detuned ever so slightly from what you would get in the RT Charger, but not much. 363 horsepower here, so plenty of punch in this. Like I said, it's a well put together engine that they have in this, also the same one that they're going to use in a lot of their trucks, but this is a really nice package. And as I mentioned before, this thing, you get a different level of luxury in this car than you'll get from a lot of your other sedans in the same segment. So here you go. There's the sticker on the 300S. This is actually called their Alloy Edition. But as you can see, we're right at $47,375. Now that's before you get all the Dodge Power dollars and all the other things that these dealerships can do for you on the price of this thing. But this thing is really decked out. As you can see, it's got the sunroof on it. You get the bigger wheels, the 20-inch wheels that are kind of special to this vehicle. As you mentioned, you get the bigger power plant. Pretty much anything you could want in a nicely equipped sedan, this thing is going to have. So let me show you a little bit more about the gauges in the car. Okay, so now in the driver's seat of the 300S, I got to tell you, it's that really comfortable, familiar Mopar place to sit. And what I mean by that is these seats, just like in my Charger, they're very big, they're plush, they're comfy. It is just a really nice place to sit and do business. I want to kind of show you the gauges on this because they are a little bit different than they are in the Charger. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and start this thing up for you guys. You can see, of course, 300 on the dash, and it's got a really nice blue sort of hue to it. And I actually really like that, blue being my favorite color. But I just wanted to show you kind of what the dashes look like. They are a little different than they are in the Charger. Of course, you got the Chrysler emblem here. There is your drive mode selector, so we can actually go ahead and put this bad boy over into drive. And of course, this thing does have a sports setting, just like you would find in the RT. And of course, that's typically how I drive it. It's got that big, beautiful display on it. And of course, it does say Chrysler as opposed to Dodge. But and I actually kind of like the clock. It's something a little bit different. But I do like this S trim. It is more of the sport trim. I'm not much of the big wood grain type trim guys. So anyway, I just wanted to show you it is a really nice place to kind of sit, and a very comfortable car indeed. So now aboard the 300S, like I said, it does have a very similar feel to the Charger. One thing I do really like is the fact that it's got this ginormous sort of double pane sunroof in it. So it really has kind of a sort of an open feel to it, which I actually really like. It's raining ever so slightly. This car does come with 245s on all four corners, and with that 5.7 liter Hemi, it does have a little bit of punch to it, I will say. So let's go ahead and take this thing down the road a little bit, and I will give you my driving impressions. So now that I'm actually able to drive the 300S, I have to admit it has really kind of that same feel that the RT would have. I mean, I really don't feel a whole lot of difference between this and the Charger RT. Obviously in finish, it feels a little bit different. In look, it looks quite a bit different. But it is still that really nice, familiar sort of, you know, punchy V8 that I really love. I love the V8 grumble of the RT. There just aren't very many sedans out there that you can get for, in my mind, under $50,000 that still have a really nice grumbly V8 to them. I mean, you can go with some of the German competitors, but you're going to pay 2 to 3 times as much money for one. So I need to mention it, but this thing is a really complete sedan. It really has just about everything you could want. I mean, it drives nice. It's got a really solid amount of power to it. It's nothing crazy. This is not a race car, guys. Let's qualify that. But it is still really fun to drive, and it has more than enough power to get out of its own way. And I really like the suspension on this car. This car has a really nice suspension to it. So this thing is just, it's a weird combination of sort of luxury and some V8 grumble and a little bit of grunt to it, and it's just a really solid performing car. I actually really like this 300. There is something about a V8 that just makes you smile when you drive it. I just I gotta put it out there. Even the least powerful of the V8s that FCA makes still makes me smile when I drive it. And I will say, it is raining on me right now, but the car still feels like it is very much in control. It doesn't feel like it's trying to get away from me at all. And, you know, for the average driver, that's exactly what you want. So I do have to mention, this is actually the car that my dad chose to buy. I tried to steer him into a Charger, and he actually ended up going with a 300 as well. And I think it just has just a little more tinge of just that luxury type feel. Now, this is an S, so this is kind of more of their sporty type finish to it, which I like. But you know, like I said, it's just a really nice. I like the stitching on it. It's just a buttoned up car from Dodge. I mean, this is not a you know, a $90,000 European sedan. This is a FCA, you know, cruiser, but I mean, it really has some nice refinement to it. I mean, if you're looking for a sedan for under $50,000 that just does all sorts of really of things well and just rides nice, but still has just a good amount of punch, you got to give the 300 a look. You've got to at least drive it, because this is a solid performing car. So a couple other things that I just want to make mention of. So the vast majority of 300s that they sell actually have the V6, the 3.6 liter Pentastar in them, right about 300 horsepower. And for the average person, that really is more than enough power. This one just happens to have that little bit extra and that V8 grumble that I really like. But these things really are nicely equipped. And the one thing I do want to mention about Chrysler, because Chrysler used to make a lot of different products. Right now, they only make a few things. And the 300 is one of those things that actually just kind of had some staying power. They've also got a minivan, I think it's called the Pacifica, that does really well for them. But they kind of did almost like the Chick-fil-A type approach to Chrysler. They really pared down their offering from Chrysler, and they just tried to do the few vehicles that remain really, really well. And I think that the 300 is still a really solid performing sedan, and still kind of unique in the segment. It looks just very different than the Charger, even though it has so many similarities, same chassis, but it's still a very, very enjoyable car to own and drive. So I just want to put that out there. Guys, well, that does it for my review on the Chrysler 300S. This is a really solid machine. It's the first time I've really had a chance to take a hard look at one of these, and I actually really, really like this. This would make another one for me that would just make a fantastic daily. Like I said, it just does so many things well. So I also want to take a quick minute and acknowledge my buddies here at Huffines Dodge in Plano, Texas. They have been fantastic to work with. Great group of folks. Contact my buddy Jas. He's actually one of the managers here at Huffines, and these guys are a really solid group to work with. They have some beautiful vehicles. So whether it's this particular 300 or any of the other vehicles that you saw in my video, or you just want to get something that you maybe haven't seen in my video, but you're interested in a Jeep, a Dodge, a Chrysler product, whatever it may be, give these guys a shout. I'll go ahead and put the number right up here in the corner so you guys know how to get a hold of them. But I do appreciate their hospitality. They've been fantastic to work with. So guys, that is about it for this one. It's been a fun little review. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And guess what? I will see you guys on the next one. So until then, Racer X.